By pressing play, you've been transported to Escape Velocity, where the random and ridiculous thoughts expressed here do not reflect the views of the store or the employees. There will be no apologies for the things said today by your hosts and their guests. With that being said, enjoy the experience. Yo, how's everybody out there doing?
Hola, but I used that one already. So, what's up?
Who says you can't repeat words?
I did. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I know why you're talking like this, because you're hot, nigga. Hey guys, you know what it is since you press play on whatever device you listen to this shit on, and it's gonna be another episode of Yo, where the captions at? Where they at? Hey, where they at? It's another Monday. I'm asking you where the captions at? Where they at? Where they is? And guess what this is? The podcast business. Nasty with it. Coming down. Recyclable, you trashy with it.
You ain't potting, bro.
Word. Alright, and as always, I'm yours truly, Kels for Show, aka Lego, my swag yo. And with me always is my bro host.
You know, the young Toby in the game. The one that runs the Uchiha clan, Roscoe Tenkoya.
That's nasty.
Hey, people gotta die in these streets.
True. And with us today, we have a very special guest, an actual listener. Like, she listens. She could tell me things about podcasts when people are like, oh, you got a podcast. I know. Have you listened? No. But she says yes.
It's true. I'm a listener.
See? I'm not just lying. I'm lying, though.
Can you pull the gun away from her, Kelsey, and let her say it again?
Hey. First Amendment,
Hey,
baby.
I was saying that I put cream cheese in my mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
so
Now,
good. You can't-
now.
Once you go to mashed potatoes with cream cheese, you can't. It's not the same.
You can try other mashed potatoes without it, and you're like, cool.
It's
This is
lacking.
boring. This is boring as fuck.
Boring.
One, our special guest is Melanie.
Hi.
Second, Daniel is here as always.
You know our Freddie Benson.
And third, this ain't y'all two podcasts. We ain't talking about cream
know.
cheese and taters.
It's haters.
But I'm glad y'all have that connection, though. Word is bond. See, this is why I love having a job that's not a job, but also is a job, because you are your own boss. Ain't you just gonna do shit like this. God bless. God bless.
What's been popping?
Oh, are we talking about what's popping? And for all our first-time listeners, what's popping is a segment when we talk about all the news and headlines and geekdom and pop culture. So just going off the gates, we don't talk about a little show that's based on a little trilogy that came back in the 90s that made every black kid in the hood want to be a hockey player.
Oh, was we gonna talk about the
We-
ducks?
Them Ducks,
Quack.
MD,
Quack.
Oh,
Quack.
my
not
goodness.
medical drugs.
Quack.
We getting a series?
Quack.
Yes, first off, the Mighty Ducks series has been in the works for the last 4 years. It was rumored to go to Freeform back when it was ABC Family.
Say
And
word.
we talked about this, but it was
I
many
know.
months ago
But it's
and many
been-
blunts ago as well.
Many blunts.
Yes, so that series is officially coming sometime later this year. Disney Plus and Emilio Estevez will be back as Coach Bombay.
Whew.
And there's going to be some other original Mighty Ducks coming back to reprise their roles on the series as well.
Oh yeah, because we did say, what if Coach Bombay's the old man from Mighty Ducks now for this new?
Exactly. Like how he made him the jerseys in D2
And-
and sharpened his skates and told him like, yo.
And Coach Bombay got the funds.
He was
because
like that Alfred.
He was their Alfred, but yet Coach Bombay paid all the money on him.
And speaking of Mighty Ducks, Melanie, are you a Mighty Ducks fan?
I haven't seen Mighty Ducks since I was a child. I haven't, but
So did we.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I mean, for me, it's been like maybe.
Because we are
8 years.
slightly different in age. So what do you remember about Mighty Ducks? Was it just something that was on, or did it instill some type of energy into you, some type of feel goodness?
Mighty Ducks was not one of the movies that I like related to as a child that I found was like inspirational. I liked other movies like The Sandlot. That was more of
Okay,
my
cool.
type of movie.
All right. Why was that?
But-
What's the difference between Mighty Ducks and Sandlot?
I don't know.
Was it the
what
Hispanic representation?
I guess so. Maybe it was
But
more
they had no
relatable.
Hispanics in it.
It was more relatable because there was no way I was going to be a part of something that my parents had to spend a ton of money on, like hockey.
True.
So
Oh,
we
you was
had
thinking
to-
ahead of the game. All right, cool.
So I was like,
I-
that's not something that I can
Exactly.
relate to.
I knew I wasn't gonna be
playing
a Mighty
outside
Duck.
and being away from my
Exactly.
being away and out of the way was like more like it, and so that was why I guess The Sandlot was more relatable. But That's always a classic. I love it.
I
Word.
mean, I knew I wasn't gonna be a duck, but D2 had him rollerblading, and I knew I could blade my ass off.
Hell yeah, because like I knew, like you said about your parents spending all the money. I knew I was gonna be a hockey player because that was some white shit. Like, no, we ain't gonna drive in this cold and sit there for all that shit. You can't even skate on roller skates. So you definitely ain't gonna get no blades, boy. So it's like one of those things that you know as a kid, but you still like, yo. But if I had the opportunity,
That would be
Oh, I
cool.
would take
that would be dope as fuck. But that's what's up. Like, no, Sandlot is an OG classic, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna get remade or become a new Disney Plus
They're
series.
making a
at some
Disney
time,
Plus
too.
series for it, actually.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I
James
actually
Earl
haven't watched
Jones
that.
could also come back and reprise his role as that character in that movie also.
And since we're talking about TV shows and things, Blizzard hasn't been officially announced, but the head of Blizzard's entertainment department on his leak-in, it's just been said that he sold the rights to already finished Diablo, and they're working on a animated Overwatch, and it's also been announced that the Call of Duty live action movie has been put on hold due to the fact they just got one of the writers for the Joker movie. So chances are he's gonna be the head writer. So they're just gonna wait till he's finished doing whatever he's doing with that to start working on the Call of Duty live action movie again.
Word, that's what's up. You would bring it up, Call of Duty. All right, that's what's up. Speaking of video games, let's talk about the Avengers game because it's coming out September 4th. That's gonna be a birthday present for myself. I've been waiting for this game since it was announced last year at E3.
Oh, and this is gonna be your first Square Enix game.
Yes, because I didn't
Whoa.
fuck
Yeah,
with Kingdom Hearts.
Kelsey's only watched us play Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, so this
And
is about...
sometimes late night, 3 a.m. in the morning, I will go on YouTube and go into a rabbit hole of just Kingdom Hearts, cut play scenes, and story arc videos. And yes, I know the canon.
So, did you watch this is my question. Did you watch the intro video for Kingdom Hearts 3?
I seen it, but I couldn't tell you
Because
about
that shit is the most anime thing I've ever seen. With
Oh,
the
they do
Skrillex
too
song.
much for that intro.
Yo,
like
I love
literally,
it. It's great.
Literally, I had to try to explain to one of my friends who's never played a Kingdom Hearts that I'm like, maybe the intro's gonna explain it all.
Also, maybe
And then
jumping
I
into the third one isn't a good idea.
But I mean,
hell no.
he's an Xbox player, so you know,
Oh, you one of them.
if you never played on PlayStation nor knew about it and wasn't in the Japanese RPG games, his own literally I got him into Final Fantasy 15, forced him to finish that, and then he heard me and my homeboy talk about Kingdom Hearts, so he wanted to dive into Kingdom Hearts, and
That's fair.
Word, that's what's up. And it also if you have a PS4, you can enter the beta if you pre-order the game. They haven't announced that for Xbox yet, which makes me kind of upset.
it's most likely not going to happen because reason being, Square Enix has a deal with PlayStation because Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't most likely going to come out for a whole year because it's not dropping day one. So chances are PlayStation got a deal to get the beta exclusive for them as part of a deal.
But also, that's what I love about life because just because something's not likely to happen does not mean it cannot happen.
Sure.
So that would be a pleasant surprise if that shit did occur, because that's like one of the reasons too. Like I was planning on getting the pre-order. Like there got to be some perks. There got to be a beta. But at the same time, there is, just not for the Xbox. So it's whatever. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna get the game regardless. So.
Only reason why I'm saying that could happen is because it happened with Monster Hunter with the iceberg jump off. PlayStation got a beta, but Xbox never had one.
Hell yeah. That may be some algorithm shit. Like who's more likely to buy this game? People on the PS4 versus so let's focus the beta on this since they already guaranteed.
It could be because of, 2 games made overseas, and overseas PlayStation sells more than Xbox.
That explains why Street Fighter 5 is only a PlayStation exclusive right now.
Yep.
For the last fucking 4 years. But yeah. And segueing from that, going on to something else. There was a little movie that came out this weekend.
That might have broken what is known as the video game movie curse.
Exactly, which is weird because you just showed me an article when it said this movie was about to fucking flop, but it did not.
Oh, I literally looked at it. I'm like, that's quick to judge.
For real, it's literally Friday at 1 p.m. Like, so you already calling the movie a flop. And that movie is going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. Did you get an opportunity to see Sonic this weekend, Melanie?
No, but I have seen a lot of advertising for it, and it does look really good. I'm glad that they took the time to redo what they needed to and make it more realistic and more in tune with the video game character. Like, the people have spoken. It wasn't the right Sonic, and now we have the right Sonic in. So I'm excited to see the movie.
And I would definitely recommend, if you were thinking about seeing the Sonic movie, go ahead and do that shit. That movie was good.
I'm gonna be honest. They tug at your heartstring in the first like 5 minutes, and then it's just like, all right, I'm invested in the Sonic's life now. And from there on, it's just like, oh, cool. It's a kid's version of Deadpool without being Deadpool. Like, that's what it kind of feels like. It feels like a Deadpool movie, but for kids without blood, gore, but still all the silliness and funness of a movie, action movie.
Hell yeah, like, I definitely...
Jim Carrey stole the show.
I won't say that, but Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey for all us old people out there, the 30s and above, that love Jim Carrey in the 90s. He's in classic form with this shit. It's one particular scene too when was doing the dance sequence and he acted like his head was chopped off. I was like, yo, he killed that shit. I'm like, yo,
that part, that dance sequence, and just like his mannerisms sells it.
Hell yeah, I'm like, yo, y'all might find me at Blondie's doing that same move, because I've been practicing that hoe. But yes.
Really?
No, not literally. That was a joke. But part of me is like, don't, because I didn't, because I knew that I would. Just like a woodchuck. Because if a woodchuck could chuck, wouldn't he? Thank you. But yes, guys, long story short, no promotion. We're not getting paid by Paramount or Warner Brothers or whoever made that movie. Or Sega. I wish they would have doing Sega instead of like Sega. They did that shit real low, but I thought it was.
I don't like the fact that it was real low. I personally would have just liked the whole Sega call out
or like
regular note.
Or like how they used to do in the Sonic game originally. Sega and he would spin out and he was like his little Sonic.
Oh yeah, he was the only one that when he spun out that Sega. Because
Sonic is Sega. He's the Mario to this shit. Mm-hmm. Word. Speaking of Mario, and there's somebody else that name that starts with an M. Mark Hamill, yes, that Mark Hamill, aka the Joker, will be voicing Skeletor on Kevin Smith's He-Man Netflix series coming sometime this year, towards the end, or maybe mid this time next year. So yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg because Kevin Conroy is back on it. I can't tell you who he's voicing right now off the top of the memory, but I want to say Beastman or Man at Arms and the boy Kai from Originals, Vampire Diaries, yes, and Legacies. What? He's voicing He-Man, aka Prince Adam. Also, there's like a slew. Oh shit!
Cree Summers will be doing
Cersei Ass is voicing Evil Lyn on the series as well.
Cersei's gonna be on there?
Cersei's in this motherfucking series. This series with Cersei. She's in this bitch. Yes. I was so mad when I read that shit. I'm like, this bitch, I hate her.
I ain't gonna lie. Ever since
she will always be a cunt. She killed Summer or Shadow or one of them white wolves that was named after something.
Right, that still hurts me too.
And that was a high five, guys, because this is a audio medium. But yeah, she's on there, but the voice talent is A+.
Yeah,
this shit's about to be a ball.
This is about to be great.
But yes. That He-Man shit's coming. If you fuck with He-Man, hopefully you watch the She-Ra series on Netflix. Also, is dope. But if you're also into those retro animated series, watch Voltron on Netflix. Amazing, classic. And speaking of Netflix, did you see anybody see the teaser that came out this weekend?
For what?
Oh yeah.
One of Netflix, if not most popular TV series, Stranger Things.
Yes, I did see that, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm even more hyped.
Have you seen Stranger Things, Melanie?
I am still catching up on Stranger Things. I love it, but it's still I'm slow moving.
Word.
I'm behind you guys.
Wait. Not everybody got to be a cheetah, and not everybody got to be a snail. You move at your own pace because there's only one end to this race. I'm just saying.
Savor it. Take your time.
Exactly, because you don't get there, it's gonna be good. But without spoiling this, a certain character that most people theorize will be popping up in this trailer. Pop the fuck up like a pimple on prom night. Just like, hey guys, I'm here. Like, Adoy and the Hellboy flop. So of course you gotta come back and get this check.
And the thing that I did like is the fact that they titled they titled the teaser trailer "Love from Russia,"
Of course.
which is also kind of a hint on the last final scene from last season.
And also will set you up for the idea of the theme of this set of movies, because it's like the 80s theme. From Luster with Love is a James Bond movie. I'm not that familiar with James Bond, but just the fact that they named it this, I'm pretty sure it came out in the same year as this series is going to be based in. So it's quite possible we at least get a James Bond reference. And if we do, will this season be more espionage spy movie classic than a typical sci-fi horror classic?
Ooh, that would be a nice spin on
Because
things.
maybe that character that we talking about, spoiler alert for nobody that hasn't seen it yet, I'm not going to say his character, but maybe he's going to have to be on some 007 shit to work his way out of the Russian,
And
what's it
also-
called, goulash?
And also, too, wasn't
Gulag?
that could have
Word.
worked into
Goulash is a soup.
Word! I thought they called it, because isn't that
Yes.
soup served cold?
No,
What I'm thinking
that's
about.
gazpacho.
Ah, thank you. Alright, word.
And also, it kind of
The more you know.
And also, what kind of makes sense is too during that time period, horror movies were fading away, and the spy movies were coming in and starting to rise.
That's true too. Word. So, moving on to music, I'm just gonna talk about a couple of albums that came out over the weekend that I fuck with. By fuck with, I mean listen to, and that'll be A Boogie with the Hoodie, Artist 2.0. If you're an A Boogie fan, he's
New
dope. Like if you're a younger cat that's listening to this shit, you already fuck with A Boogie. I already know it because I fucks with A Boogie. He's a newer rap artist that has more of the singing versus rapping melodic tone to his rhymes. And it's like one of those things, like back in the day, we would consider this person a traditional rapper, but he's an artist. He makes the music for what it is. He makes his music, and it's good music.
And he's from New York, so he knows the love of the music. He just ends up knowing, growing up from a generation where the Southern music was one of the leading things. He just incorporated with his New York living.
And A Boogie with the Hoodie, you heard his songs before if you listen to the radio. I don't listen to the radio. I just find music when I find it. But you know who he is. And I recommend the album if you're a fan. If you're not, listen to our playlist. It's going to be YWDCA2 for this month. Most of the albums that we talk about, there will be at least one or two songs on the playlist to give you a type of vibe about the album. And of course, the playlist is for you to see what we're listening to and get a vibe of the show. So if you have multiple devices, like I know you do, play the playlist low key on the low while you listen to this, and you kind of get to understand the vibrations that we putting out here into the ether. Melanie, are you a Justin Bieber fan?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, I guess. I don't hate him. I generally like the stuff that I hear on the radio or.
Word. But you're not as invested in him like you are with Taylor Swift.
Yes, I love me some Taylor Swift.
T-Swizzle.
So, yeah.
Did you watch her documentary on Netflix?
Yes, Miss Americana.
I have not watched that yet. But one of her songs from that shit is on the playlist. So if you haven't listened to the playlist, there's a reason for you to listen to that shit.
Okay.
We got a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah, like Ali and AJ came back with new music. So that's about all I could recommend.
But yes, Justin Bieber album is good, but it's one of those albums, like he's not doing anything new. If you heard Yummy, his new single,
Isn't like most of all his songs sound kind of like that? That's what I've been hearing.
No, that's what I literally told you the other day.
Oh.
You heard that from me.
You and, what you call it?
Yeah, so he made this more R&B contemporary album, and it's good. But it's nothing different than what Chris Brown or...
It ain't no Big Time Rush, though.
No, it's not Big Time. It's no different from what, like, Chris Brown is doing. Shit.
And yes, people, if y'all heard me saying no better than a Big Time Rush album, because Big Time Rush bang, and if you listen to their albums, they're more 90s R&B black boy band than they are just a Nickelodeon boy band.
What I was trying to say is Justin Bieber isn't doing anything new, a la Chris Brown. You also have Tory Lanez. You also have Jacquees. You have The Division. You have Bryson Tiller.
The Division? You mean The Weeknd?
No, Division.
Oh yeah, The Division.
OVO, so OVO's R&B group. And also you have like
They
If
still
I didn't
drop
say,
albums?
oh yeah, Eric Bellinger, like he's doing like what a lot of R&B artists are doing, but I think people are used to a different sound from Justin Bieber, so it's gonna be like, oh, he's doing something new. He ain't, but it's still good though. So shout out to Biebs. One of my favorite alternative rock indie groups, Tennis, dropped a new album called Swimmer. Then I discovered two new bands for myself personally this weekend. One's called Beach Bunny, and it had an album called Honeymoon. And another group was called Summer Camp, which dropped an album by the name of Romantic Comedy.
And that's the one you had me listening to, right?
No,
Got that?
I probably had you listen to Beach House, or Big Moon.
All right.
Yeah, but they're both indie rock groups. They're cool. They chill. I fucks with it. It's kind of more of a low vibe feel. So yeah, definitely check them out if you respect my musical taste so far. The Baby dropped a new single, "Shut Up," after they found out he had a baby with another baby mama. They was trying to keep on the low, but guess what?
His baby mama put that out on blast.
When it rains truth, the truth will grow
will
from
grow.
that dirt, baby. It will.
All right, Tupac.
Hey, yo. Alright. Marin Hill dropped a new single today called What It's Not, and it's more chill than her normal, I would say, EDM influenced up-tempo songs. And also the trap guys themselves, the Migos, Travis Scott, Straight Up, and Young Thugger
Thugger.
got a single out called Give No Fuck. Because guess what? When you're rich, you give no fuck. Especially in Atlanta, when the property value is so low, you can buy how many AR-15s that you want. Popeye's always got a chicken sandwich on deck.
Stupid.
But it is, though.
It is, so.
The South. The South, baby. And that's going to round out Yo What's Poppin' today. And we're going to get into the segment that we like to call Yo We Geeking Out. Yo We Geeking Out is a segment where we dive into a subject specifically tailored to our guest today. And Melanie, this was a show that you love, so I'm gonna let you start us off with Dollface. Yes, Dollface.
Yeah,
It's a series on Hulu,
Yeah.
and it's got Kat Dennings and Shay Mitchell and Brenda Song, which are three of my favorite characters right now.
And also Esther Povitsky as well.
Yes. So Jules, Kat Dennings, the main character, and she's going through a breakup, and it's just a really funny interpretation of a woman trying to seek the shelter of her female friends and the importance of having female friends during your life as a woman. And there's a couple of cameos from some pretty awesome people.
Yes, they are.
And it's just a generally funny show. Just about women. If you're looking for a strong female character that's hilarious, Kat Dennings, I mean, she has all of the sass that Two Broke Girls had, if you were a fan of that. She has the same sarcastic charm that she had then, and she usually always does. And of course, she's gorgeous. And there's just a lot of funny, quirky things about the show. I mean, the first 10 minutes had me laughing, and I was just hooked from there. The revoking your card as a woman, that was hilarious. And
Yeah, I definitely could relate to that because sometimes I get my black card revoked. So I know when the group you're a part of, like, you know what? You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. We don't need that privilege back.
right.
And we all have privilege, people. It's not just privilege to the whites. Just want y'all to know that.
So yeah, and it's kind of funny because as somebody who was going through a breakup at the time that I was watching the show, it was just really relatable because it was like you knew it was for the best and you could see the character growing, so you learned to love her, and just all of the mistakes that she was making, and just watching these friendships grow, and just looking for strong female bonds. It's just really fun and fun to watch.
Word. All right, Ross, what about the show that you like?
Well, besides the chance of seeing Brenda songs, because she's one of my favorite female actresses, alongside with Kat Dennings and Shay Mitchell, I would say Eliza popped out for me in her playing Izzy, which kind of makes me like want to go back and see some of her old work, since her dad claims literally one of the funniest things is after watching this and doing research for this, is that in real life, her dad, like, when she got the role, he literally said, another loser girl trying to cry for attention about his daughter getting the role of this character. And that's what he thinks of his daughter. So, like, it's kind of funny that she's like, she kind of jokes around with us, like, yeah, I always grew up, like, always wanting attention, feeling like a little loser girl. And just hearing my dad always saying that is kind of funny because that's about all the roles I play currently. But yeah, it's just a nice little old funny girl empowerment show that's comedic, which personally I love mostly. That's why most of my shows are kind of like this. New Girl, Parks and Rec, Two Broke Girls, things I like.
I don't know if you guys if you follow or watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as Gina's assistant in one episode.
Kat Dennings.
Esther.
I didn't.
Izzy. Yeah. And she plays Gina's assistant, and
Oh,
she's like, "We've been told to insult Amy at any given opportunity."
Season 2, right?
I can't.
I want to say
exactly,
it was
but
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So you
remember
tell
It
me?
was classic.
So you're saying she was basically playing Izzy before she was playing Izzy? Because it seems like she's the type of character that kind of played the same.
Oh yeah, the glasses, like.
Oh, she had glass. Oh, so
Yeah,
she was
she was
in
wearing
it.
Yeah.
Word. So what drew me to Dollface, obviously, was Kat Dennings. I've been a Kat Dennings fan since 40-Year-Old Virgin. If you listen to the special Valentine's Day episode, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Not since before, not Big Mama's House. That was when I became a fan of hers.
She didn't even have a real role in Big Mama's House.
She was the daughter that he was protected.
I remember Big Mama's House about Martin and his son.
It's either one or two, but he was. She was in one of them, and he was protecting her.
Word.
And I want to say it was one because she was playing the teenage.
It wasn't one. It definitely was
he was
not
playing
one.
That's
when Terrence Howard was in it, and he wanted to get his son back.
Well, then it had to be two because he was whichever one he was protecting the little girl. But yeah, she was in one of them.
Word. All right. Cool. The more you know. You learn something new every day. Yo, Joe. All that shit. No one's half the battle. Right? Cool. And yeah, because Dollface is one of those series that's smart, well written, and just always makes me think about, is this what the current generation is going through? Because they're playing younger women, but at the same time, I know they're in age of my contemporaries. But at the same time, I know younger women. I have younger women in my life. So as soon as I got done watching the series, I'm like, yo, is there something funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Word.
said I got younger women in my life.
I got young women in my life.
I do got young
Drake!
women. Yo,
Hell no, hotline bling. Underage is just one thing.
I be drinking so much. I got a lot of enemies. Some of my enemies looking like Freddie and Freddie.
You mean legal recourse is your enemy.
That's always an enemy of the black man in America. So thank you for that reminder.
I low-key thought
Daniel.
we wasn't going to get a Drake joke in this week.
But yes, I know.
You opened it for us.
I don't have to write him anymore. He just
No.
doesn't-
We're gonna have another podcast about that too. But knowing that women are my, if they're younger than me, I would ask them questions like, "Yo, how does this relate to you in your life? Is this kind of accurate about this?" I asked that to Leslie. I asked that shit to Katie. I asked that to Kayla. And
How
Audrey.
was homeroom? Did you
And
eat
Audrey.
anything good in the cafeteria?
By younger, he mean like...
I have younger cousins.
In social studies, as hard as I remember it was.
Of course it is. I forgot most of that shit like most people after they graduate high school. So can you be a little more specific?
What the worst? What did you...
I mean, it definitely is a little bit older than a high school show. It's more of an adult problems type of show, but
No,
it's
of course.
for
That goes
sure-
without-
It's for sure.
A young 18.
It shows the importance of having female relationships, but also the funny struggles of having female relationships too, because that's never easy either. So it's just a really funny show. I think anybody should check it out. It's not just for the women. I think guys will find it comical too, and plus the characters are all pretty awesome to look at.
I enjoy Kat
Well,
Dennings. I'm excited to see
exactly.
her.
I love her. There's never a Kat Dennings moment that's dull. She just makes it great.
Honestly, if you love cats, a cat-faced person is way more beautiful to watch
No,
when you fuck
the
up.
cat lady in the TV series is basically her Jiminy Cricket,
Her
her
fairy cat mother.
fairy cat mother, or furry cat mother.
Furry
Pharaoh.
life, baby.
Word. But no, like that's one thing is I like the abstractness of it and how it kind of like doesn't break the fourth wall, but it's very meta. Because the cat lady is actually played by Beth Grant. If you watch the Mini Project, she was the old weird lady in the office and whatnot. So I knew the voice and I saw her face and I was like, oh yes, that makes absolute sense. And she comes back in a role that kind of like suspends it from reality, but that's also part
It's like
of
a
the
cutaway.
human. Yeah.
I would
Oh
say,
yeah, I like that. Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say it would be interesting to her inner thoughts and whatnot for Kat Dennings.
Exactly, but when you also have her working at the Mexican resort, that can't be a cutaway when
That
everybody
too, and that's actually
interacting
real life. It's
too.
true.
So yeah, so it's like one of those things they have those little in jokes inside the series already. And for example, like Kat Dennings' Jules character, I've been friends with a lot of women in my life, and I've seen that happen firsthand when a girl dates a guy and just ghosts. And then as soon as they break up or her relationship falls through, she's back in the group. And it's just like one of them things when they're away, they're just like, oh, we wonder how long before she's back or how long. Not necessarily saying that it was hating on the relationship, but they just know this how she is or this is how women tend to be sometimes in a lot of
Putting
circles.
the entire
Relationship.
putting their
different.
relationship before everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's one of the weird things like I never understood growing up. Even when it came to guys, it was like, how could you just exile somebody in your life that made you who you were to get the person that you're with now? Because without my influence, you would not be you. So the fact that you take that element out of your life just because someone pops up is always weird. But then that's one of the weird things about humans. We have this bond called friendship and loyalty that in certain circles, no matter what you do, you always could come back to them. So it has that safety blanket or that parachute. Like, oh, all right, I'm falling, but I know I could go back years later and everything be cool. I think a lot of people take that for granted, and I like how they touch upon that too in the show, not in no catty way, but just real organic way. When it came to Jules and Maddie, played by Brenda Song.
Right, and another thing is that they pointed out at the beginning, and they don't really emphasize it too much because they want to show the growth in Jules's character, but she really does lose herself in that relationship, and they show in the main scene that she's like just talking about this guy and his interests and wearing his clothes and living in his house, and she doesn't have any place to go, so it shows her growing and finding her own place and finding herself outside of that relationship and being in a better place
That's
altogether. So yeah, that kind of it doesn't doesn't dwell on it too much, and it shows her growth. But so I enjoyed that little point too. Sorry.
Word, no, you good, girl. I was just gonna bring up a butter sock, but shit, that's neither here nor there.
May I ask, what's in y'all favorite episode or scene?
Okay, Melanie.
Man, that's hard to pick.
I know.
I just rewatched most of it over the last 2 days, and I definitely got one off the top. And it's gonna be the Wizard of Oz episode. That shit was so meta, adorable, and it worked on all shapes, form, and facets. And one of my favorite moments was one of the mini cameos by Joey Lawrence at his party when they thought he died, but it was all part of the. I'm like, this is gonna be a part of the bit. Oh shit, he really wait. Oh, it is part of the bit.
Yeah,
I like that.
all the way at the end. Yeah, that was a good scene too. All of them, like I said, if you want to get hooked on the series, seriously, just watch the first 10 minutes of it. It sells the entire thing. It sells the entire point. One of the girls gets off the bus at the beginning, and she immediately marries. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really funny.
Oh, it's fine. It's not pivotal to the main plot.
Yeah, so I think that just watching the first 10 minutes of it sold me on the whole series, and it kind of set the precedent of what it was going to be like.
True.
And it's just been funny ever since then. There's a scene in the museum where it's one of those cutaway scenes where it's the cavemen, and
Yes.
she's like this unworthy mate, and she's really not even unattractive at all. But anyway, it's just a really funny episode.
Hell yeah. What about you, Ross?
I might have to go with funny episode. One of my favorite episodes might have to be the fun episode.
Which one was that?
Episode 4 when Stella, aka Shay Mitchell's mom came into
AKA
town.
Emily. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Cause
Yeah, and she got labeled as the boring friend. But yet,
by her
also-
mom, but when she's the friend that like.
No, I'm saying that Jules got labeled as the boring
Okay,
friend amongst
alright.
them, and she wanted to become the fun friend.
When they ended up on that tugboat bar.
Yeah, and Jules
that
did
wasn't
all
really
the,
a bar.
Yeah, and Jules always taking them
Yeah.
to do all types of stuff. But one of my favorite moments might have to be when Brenda Song helps Izzy come up with a story of how she gets
What
her.
was up with that? That was the weirdest situation.
Because she was so fearful about not fitting in with people, she changed her name for the
Right.
company and hung just to hang out with those girls.
And that made so
But
much
then
sense
I-
for Izzy's character too.
I mean, it does, but then the rebirth of her was a lie too. So it was like, so now in 2 years, are you going to come back and say like that whole conversation was fake? There was no murder suicide. I
but
just made all of that up too.
But it was
Sometimes
a
it'll be
lot
like
of
that.
make sure to tell everybody what her real name was. So
Yeah, I mean,
a
it
lot
was-
of a
it was
lie
still
for
a
a lie to
fabricated-
expose the truth.
It was still a fabricated
really wrong?
character.
Hell yeah.
I
And
was like, show us your true self, Izzy. You're
but
not-
sometimes you don't know who's truly
And that's also another good thing too, is because not only were we seeing Jules grow, we were seeing Izzy grow, which was a side story, but not just Izzy, everybody else, because those
Oh
character
yeah,
growth
all
was.
of their characters grew in friendship together, and it was just really awesome to see. And they went through so much, and you know, a lot of it was funny, a lot of it was relatable, and yeah, it's hard being friends with other women, and it's funny, and it's really, like I said, it's relatable in that sense.
Hell yeah. And it was so relatable that it was Hulu's best performing binge series for a new program in last year.
For real?
Yeah, that's why I wrote it
There
down.
is definitely going to be a season 2.
No,
no, it's
season 2
already
is
announced.
confirmed. I was about to
Yeah.
say that. Season 2 is definitely coming. I don't know if it's this year, but it's definitely going to be next year because they already
it
said
was
we're
a-
going to
it
get
was
that
a
shit.
hit.
Kelsey, I gotta
I
love
think
your
we-
confidence when you say, yeah, that's why it's in my notes.
Yeah, I know. I don't come here to bullshit or lie. I just come here to be black and fly.
God damn it.
I'll give him that one.
I'll give him that one too.
Word. All right, so guess what?
What's that?
We like this show. And if you like this show already and have seen it or thinking about checking it out, do this. And if you already like it, we're about to give you our suggestion and check it out. And with me, I'm going to just start off by saying if you're a fan of Kat Dennis, I'm pretty sure you already watched this series, but I'm still going to recommend Two Broke Girls. Even though it's not on any streaming service, you only can watch that shit through CBS All Access, which is still some bullshit.
But that's a streaming service.
But still, but it's not every other major program. No. Every other major program that CBS has, Big Bang Theory, like all that other stuff, you can find on TBS, Hulu, other networks, all streaming services except for Two Broke Girls. You can't find that anywhere. It's never been licensed to any
But
streaming
something
service.
else also went to CBS because my sister tried watching.
And also, CBS Access is new, so before this came out last year, you couldn't
was
watch it on
true, that
anything
was
else.
true.
I know, that's why I said it, baby.
All right, I'll give you that.
Word. You can't give me what I already got, player.
Trick ass.
Well, since you want to talk, tell us about your recommendation for
well,
check it out.
Well, my recommendation would be
We Be Bears?
10 things. Well, yo, if I
Nah, go ahead.
actually fuck that bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna say We Bear Bears because you said it. We goofing around, but
Mind manipulation?
hell yeah, We Bear Bears. It's about 3 bears: a panda bear, a polar bear, a brown bear, brothers living in life as talking bears amongst humans.
And
Don't
what
ask why. It works.
And what
Cartoon Network.
Thank you.
Guys, I'm just kidding.
And then they have We Bear Cubs,
Oh,
where they
which
little
is
kids
it.
playing
It's
3-on-3
it's
basketball.
Oh, that is low key. That's probably the only episode I want to recommend to y'all is the basketball episode when they learned how to play basketball as little cubs, just so they could get the court.
I want to be a baller,
You know-
shot caller.
My real recommendation is What I Like About You, starring Amanda Bynes, and don't remember her name, don't even remember her character, but she was
I
in
believe
90210.
I believe her character name was Jenny, and she was loved with Luke Perry's character.
Yes.
Or Jenna.
Jenna.
It was Jenna. Yes. She played the bit sister to Amanda Bynes' character.
What I Like About You. And I think her character actually name was Jenna too. And What I Like
It
About
was. And they had the
Even more
90210 appreciation episode when Luke
Oh
Perry
yeah,
came back
he came
in when
on
they
the episode. they
flashback
played
to her
in
being in high school. You're-
Which I remember
This
that
was
episode.
before he got killed on that Archie show.
Yo, he died in real life.
Shut your face.
That's mad
because his
disrespectful.
son is. I'm be honest.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. and Jungle Boy. Luke Perry's
I'm letting Baba
son
Yaga
is a
get your
wrestler.
ass, man.
I know you probably don't know.
I haven't followed wrestling since I
Oh,
was
no.
a child, but I can definitely. It was a part of my childhood, big time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
like-
We
current-
walk down to the World Arena and go to WWE wrestling.
Oh, no,
Or
he's not in.
WWF back then.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not in WWE. He's in a different company called AEW.
'Cause it
But
was
yeah,
the
Luke Perry's son
Federation.
is a professional wrestler, and
life.
Luke Perry he's like literally was adamant, like he helped his son in the whole wrestling business. Like it was so much that like he was more embarrassed of his dad because his dad always came backstage and he was just like, Dad, not wrestling etiquette and all that. But yeah, Luke Perry was a good father.
Yeah.
Word. So, what I like about you from Ross, Melanie? What would be your recommendation to all those other Dollface fans out there listening to this podcast?
Well, if you liked Dollface, I recommend watching Shrill. There's two seasons right now.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
And yeah, the second season was just released pretty
Like, Last
recently.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been I'm only on
Yes.
episode 2 of season 2, so I can't really expound on that too much. But season 1 has another. It's got Adie Bryant, and she's another strong female lead that is
SNL alumni.
hilarious. Yeah. So and she's got her.
Girl Squad.
Well, yeah, she does. She's got her team, but she's got her. I was gonna say she's got her SNL charm that we love about her, and she's
Yes.
always very funny.
Is that the same show where she's learning to, like, she's starting to sleep around and like getting her confidence?
Yeah, and she's
It's so good.
It's
Right.
called Getting Your Groove Back.
She's embracing.
She's selling
loving
it
her
hard,
body.
and it's amazing. I've
Word.
only seen the Adie Bryant stuff, and so good.
Yeah,
Word.
It's a pretty good show, so I recommend it. But yeah.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We're gonna wrap this son of a bitch up.
I love you guys.
Oh, and I would like to say thank you to everybody that's been commenting and telling us how much they love the Valentine's Day crossover episode.
With Escaping
I
Podcast.
did. I liked it. Thank you for having me on too.
Of course, girl,
Really
always.
my first.
Amigos help amigos always.
And we'll
Jake the
bring
dog.
you onto Escaping at some point.
Okay.
Yes, we'll definitely give you a heads up on that. And another thing too, Kat Dennings' character's cat is named Turtle. It's a cat named
Miss
Turtle,
Turtle.
and it goes back to your point
he's-
about how she was so dependent on her relationship that they watched Entourage together. So the
Turtle.
the dog name was Ari or one of the other motherfuckers.
They mean
And
the
cat-
best character of that fucking
And
awful
a cat
show.
named Turtle. And cats and turtles are my two favorite animals. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of which ones, but you know that about me, so word. All right, guys. Once again, Melanie, thank you so much for being a listener and a fan. We still don't have the official name for the listeners. We don't know. I don't know if we're gonna call them captors or capties or I don't know yo-yo-yos or yodelers or some shit. We gonna figure that shit one day.
Figured it one day.
But yes, as always, I'm Kels for show, aka Kelsey Greer.
And you know, the greatest Uchi in the world, Roscoe Tinkoya.
Exactly, guys. And remember, be one or be nothing.
Love everything and love everyone, including yourself.
Yes, blessings on blessings, guys. Take care.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.
Late.